and community minister here for Lufkin Central. And for this morning's Jesus and Coffee, I would like us to go to the Old Testament book of Micah. In Micah chapter 6, we have, we have this statement to us that, so often we have these expectations of somebody else, and what have you done for me lately? How have you helped me? Then when I can determine that, I'll respond to you in a way that you deserve to be responded to. Well, in Micah chapter 6, and I'm going to start in verse 1, and then we're going to read just a little bit. But as we think about this, that it's, ask this question, what is required of us? Let's flip the script. Let's flip it around and say, okay, how can we respond? How can we respond to this? So as we read these words and as you hear these words, already be thinking about how you can respond to them, and then we'll really get into it, what the Lord requires of us. Micah chapter 6, start in verse 1. Hear what the Lord says. Arise, plead your case before the mountains, and let the hills hear your voice. Hear, you mountains, the indictment of the Lord, you enduring foundations of the earth. For the Lord has an indictment against people who will contend with Israel. O my people, what have I done to you? How have I wearied you? Answer me. For I brought you up from the land of Egypt. Remember when they were slaves in the land of Egypt, and God used Moses as his instrument of freeing his people. It says, for I brought you up from the land of Egypt and redeemed you from the house of slavery, as I sent before you Moses, Aaron, and Miriam. O my people, remember what Balak, king of Moab, devised, and what Balaam, son of Beor, answered him, and what happened from Shittim to Gilgal, that you may know the righteous acts of the Lord. So, in other words, everything that has happened from this moment is so that you would know the righteous acts of the Lord. You were in a situation of being enslaved, and I want you to know the righteous acts of the Lord, of how God sent Moses, Aaron, and Miriam to free you. So verse 6, with what shall I come before the Lord and bow myself before God on high? Shall I come before him with burnt offerings, with calves a year old? Will the Lord be pleased with thousands of rams, with 10,000 rivers of oil? Shall I give my firstborn for my transgression, the fruit of my body for the sin of my soul? In other words, God, are you requiring of me to bring this offering, to bring this sacrifice, to bring this blessing? What is it that you want me to know the righteous acts of the Lord? How am I to respond to this? Should I come with this understanding of bringing this sacrifice before him? Verse 8. He has told you, O man, what is good, and what the Lord require of you. And what does the Lord require of you? Here it is. But to do justice, and to love kindness, and to walk humbly with your God. How are we to respond to the righteous acts of God every day in our life? To do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with God. This is the response that he has, that he desires of us. Yes, we can bring that sacrifice of praise. We can bring him this offering. We can bring him saying and place them in his presence to allow to bless others and to provide for others and give others what they need. But more than anything, what it says right here and what your challenge is today is for us to see what God requires of us. He asks of us to do justice, to love kindness, and to walk humbly with God. How you live that out is up to you. How you fulfill these righteous requirements. It's going to be different for each of us. For every one of us, we find ourselves in different moments, in different professions, in different seasons of life. But no matter, each one of us can do justice, can love kindness, and we can all walk humbly with God. That's your challenge for today. How are you going to fulfill it? It's up to you. Have a great day. God bless.